Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna present this Oracle presentation and I'm gonna talk about user objects. So to start with, what are user objects? User objects is a list of all of the database objects, for example, like tables, views, indexes, packages, and etc., belonging to the current user. A user can create, alter, add, delete, and do many more operations in the objects. User objects describes all objects owned by the current user. So, what is a database object? To have a better understanding about the user objects, we have to know about a database object. A database object in Oracle SQL is a data structure used to either store or reference data. The most common object that people interact with is the table. Other objects are indexes, stored procedures, sequences, views, and many more. And types of user objects. So now the types of user objects. There are many user objects in Oracle SQL. Database objects are categorized into two sections, schema objects and non-schema objects. So the types of schema objects are clusters, constraints, database links, database triggers, dimensions, external procedure libraries, index organized tables, indexes, index types, and Java classes, Java resources, and Java sources. Also, materialized views, object tables, object types, object views, operators, packages, sequences, stored functions and stored procedures, synonyms, tables, and views. Those are all schema objects in Oracle SQL. Types of non-schema objects. They are contexts, directories, parameter files, known as P files, and server parameter files, known as SP files, profiles, rows, rollback segments, table spaces, and users. And since I have a problem in my Oracle accounts, in my passport, I get an example code from the Oracle documentation. So to describe a table, our table is employer details view. So we just type describe employer details view. And here we can see our object. Our object is the employer details view table. And in the table, it just describes all of the attributes in the database table. For example, employer ID, we can see that if it's allowed to be null or not null, its type, and we can see this for the other attributes such as job ID, manager ID, department ID. We can see all of the attributes and it helps us to describe, it helps us to know the code better, know the table better. So my only reference is the Oracle documentation website, and that's all. Thank you for listening to me.